Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of She Said What? The podcast where we do away with limiting beliefs and we master life with confidence, one podcast at a time. And guess what, y'all? We are on season 2. Can you believe it? Season 2. Shout out to the team. It's been a long time coming. Shout out to my fears because you ain't stopped me. I still did it, okay? So, yes. So today, of course, as always, we have a special guest. Since we are starting the new season, it is all about beauty. I've been in the beauty industry for almost 2 decades now, since 2008, and I really love it. It is a passion of mine. I've been knowing that I wanted to be in this industry since I was about 5 years old. And so this industry deserves light. So we are kicking off season 2 with one of my special guests. She goes by Z. They saved the best for last letter in the alphabet.
I love it.
Yes, give it up for my special guest, Z. She's so beautiful. So I'm not going to spoil it. I want her to tell you guys a little bit about who she is, what she does, and how you can find her.
So, my name is Zeltson, but I do go by Z, and I am the owner of Zvine Beauty. At Zvine Beauty, we specialize anything lash extensions, from supplies to the service to teaching lash extensions. I am so beyond honored to be here, so thank you so much.
I'm so glad you made
for
it.
picking me. I feel so honored. And I am based off Houston by the Galleria area. I have been doing this for 3 years now.
Yes.
And it's been a journey, and I'm so excited to share.
Yes, I love that, love that. So the reason why I chose Z, because I first saw her brand, I'm not sure how, but I feel like it was just random. I saw her brand, the cleanliness. You guys know I'm a brand guru. I love aesthetic. I feel like what you put out in your image is so important. Her brand was so clean, and I saw that she was just a young woman in the industry, and I really wanted to connect with her because as a young person in this industry doing major things and knowing and having the maturity, like a mature eye to produce such a clean, well thought out, disciplined brand really, really intrigued me. So tell me, like, your journey with branding. How did you start? How did you even get into wanting to do lashes?
Okay, so to start off, I've never been into anything makeup or anything beauty related growing up. I actually wanted to be a physical therapist. So
Wow.
yeah, I've never in my life was like, oh, I want to be a lash tech ever. Never even got lashes before. But which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
But what actually inspired me to get into lash extensions was the fact that I'm actually born in Mexico. So being an immigrant to the US, I kind of had to get myself
Get
a
a trade.
job, right? Like I
Yeah.
had to. Other than that, I was gonna be stuck being a waiter. I was actually a waiter before, and it was just not the life.
Yeah.
I remember working, and I was like, this is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like this is not enough for me. I would make $80 to $100 a day, working 8 hours. So it was rough.
Yeah.
And, it was just not in. Then COVID hit, and then I stopped working.
Because the restaurant industry closed down.
Yes. So that really made me put my life into perspective. Like, okay, what am I going to do? And I need to figure it out now. So I went to school, got lashes, and I was just automatically so good at it. Like I didn't really practice. I didn't go as hard as these other girls were going, and I was just good. And I was like, okay, well, I guess this is what I'm doing. And I started to do it. I started to love it. I immediately got so many clients. It was just so easy for me to get started, and it was like I attracted so many people. And I feel like being in the food industry and being a waiter, that helped me be able to open up to strangers and talk to them and making
Ah,
women. So it was just like how I communicated with women and how I related to them. I feel like that's what like got me to be more consistent, be having more new clients and meeting
yeah.
people. So it was definitely a journey. So definitely me being an immigrant and
Mm,
having that background is what inspired me and
yeah.
what pushed me into doing what I do now.
I love that. I love that story because I meet a lot of entrepreneurs, and a lot of them that I meet had the passion early on in the industry that they are in now.
Mhm.
And I love the perspective that you didn't,
Mhm.
but you understood early on as an entrepreneur, sometimes you need a skill. And
Mhm.
a lot of people sleep on trade jobs.
Right.
And I kind of knew that too when I was younger. I knew I loved beauty, but I also knew that trade, having a skill and offering service is what makes you money. Not
Yes.
necessarily going the societal route as going to college and getting a
Right.
degree and, doing things in that field, which is nothing wrong with. I think that's beautiful.
Right.
But at the same time, we also need tradesmen in the
Mhm.
world. And the fact that you knew that, because how old are you?
I'm 22.
Yeah, yeah, you're so
Yeah.
young. The fact that you knew that, and I feel like you said, because of your background and your heritage, it's already instilled in
Mhm.
you that we work hard.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about that culture of you
Mhm.
guys that maybe I don't even know about,
Right.
but a lot of my friends are Hispanic or
Mhm.
Latin, and all of them, they all have kind of that same work ethic, and it's just like through the culture.
Right.
Right? So can you take us
Yes.
through that a little
So
bit?
it was actually such a hard journey because, like you said, when we're in high school, all they talk about is college. So it's like,
Yeah.
hey, what country are you gonna go to? What are you gonna do with your future? What is going on? And really back in the day, the beauty industry wasn't something really
Right.
big. So it's like, oh, you wanna do whatever makeup, hair, they're gonna look at you crazy because that's not a
Mm.
career. So right.
Yeah.
So when I was in high school, I really wanted to be a physical therapist, but I really got a reality check because I had to do, hours in the hospital, which I couldn't do because I didn't have a social for me to be
Mm.
able to do
Oh,
that. So it was
wow.
very heartbreaking. Imagine like being 16, 17 years old, like
Yeah.
having that realization of like, oh my gosh, I
You have
can't.
limitations.
Right, like I
Yeah.
can't, I don't have the same opportunities the person next to me
Ah.
does. So it really like was a reality check and it was a very had to dig
Yeah.
deep in. You know what I mean? I had to really figure out what I was going to do, and I always knew like I'm just gonna have to do something for myself. Like I don't
Yeah.
know what, but I have to. And luckily, one of my friends, she actually worked at Amazing Lash Studio,
Oh, wow.
and she was like, "You need to come get your lash extensions and done." And I was like, "Okay, bet." So I went, got them done, and I loved them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what is this about? Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't know more about this. So then that's how I got into it because I got my lashes
Ah.
done one time and that completely sold me. And I was like, this is what women need. This is what I need. This is what I need to
Yeah.
do. So really, that's how it started. But it was just very heartbreaking, like at first,
Yeah.
just being 16, 17 and not being able to do what you really wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I started to do lashes when I was 19. So very young and it really was the fact that I didn't have the same opportunities. I was limited to what I like could
Mm.
do that's pushed me to become like who I am today.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was all God's plan because actually um 2 days ago, I got a call from my immigration lawyer that now I have like a work permit and like a social
Oh, thank
security.
God. Look
So
at
now I'm able
that.
to do it all. Yeah, so
Congratulations.
I'm so happy. Actually, none of my
Yeah.
friends know. So maybe by the time this airs,
Yeah. That'll be a
it
good
will,
announcement.
yeah, I will be like out there. So I'm so excited. I'm like, it's all God's plan because I really believe that if I would have had my social when I was in high school, I probably would not have Zvine
Mm-hmm.
Beauty. So,
Yeah.
and I love, my brand. I love who I am today. So I wouldn't change anything about
Yeah.
it. I wouldn't change my journey. I've learned so much and I've grown so much from it. So, and now actually, I really want to help, my immigrant women who were in the place that I was,
Right.
when I was 16, 17, and I just want to really make light to the fact that there is hope, that there is something that you can do to
Yeah.
better yourself and to, you know, take more out of life than what you think you can.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to focus now on like immigrant people, people who are like first generations, like people
Yeah.
who don't see that light, you know, the
Yeah.
light that I didn't see back in the day. So
I love
yeah.
that story. That was a huge breakthrough because when you're a teen, and that's just a fragile age, because I remember being that and so passionate about what I wanted to do
Yeah.
that I knew tunnel vision that
Yeah.
that's what I was going to do. And to have something as simple as a social stop
Mm-hmm.
your dreams, I know that was very hard for you. So,
Yeah.
like big ups to you for not letting that stop you, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people go down the wrong path and result to all type of things
Mm-hmm.
that you couldn't even imagine, substance abuse, because they're not happy, because they feel
Yes.
like there is no light at the end of the
Right.
tunnel, like this is my life is over, or whatever
Right.
plans I
Or I
had
have
is
nothing else
over.
to lose type of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a crash out,
Right.
and it's so many teens, and like I feel the same way, because I had crash out moments, and I feel like most people do. They have
Mm-hmm.
their moments where they just have to go into that. It's a part of the journey. And honestly, everyone that comes out of it feels so grateful that they
Mm-hmm.
went through it, that it happened, because I do believe, like you said, God has a certain plan and nothing can stop that.
Yes.
Nothing at all. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it might feel like you're drowning, like it's
Yeah.
over. Like, He'll, show up in your life
Yeah.
so many different ways, and it honestly don't matter the path that you take.
Mm-hmm.
He's always going to use you in a way that you are so happy about, and abundant in your life, but also he gets the glory. So I'm so glad that,
Mm-hmm.
not glad that you went through that, because who wants to go through that, but
Right.
I'm glad that you overcame that roadblock, because that's all it was. And now you
Yes.
just you had a whole new love for something that
Mm-hmm.
you didn't even know about,
Right.
and then you just took your skills that you had in other industries and applied that. Because even when you were in the restaurant business, like you said, I'm pretty sure you was like, what am I doing here?
Right.
But you were able to apply those skills that you learned.
Yep.
So people, don't knock where you are in
True.
life. Like, figure it out, but once you feel like it's time to leave, don't be afraid to leave. But
Yes.
you can apply anything you do in your life. It's
Mm-hmm.
full circle all the
It
time.
is. And I actually believe, because when I first started to waitress, I was so shy. I did not know how to talk to just strangers or how to make strangers feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that plays such a huge role,
Yeah.
honestly, because without that communication and like having to effectively talk to people, I don't know how I could have been able to
Yeah.
maintain my clientele and build and all
Mm,
of that. So you're so right about,
yeah.
every single experience in your life really does shape you, and it really, really does impact you. So no matter where you're at, learn from it.
Yeah.
Every experience is such a learning lesson. Trust me, like me having to figure out how to do business as an immigrant was a whole another route than like a regular person who has social. You know what I'm saying? So I had to jump so many hoops to get to where I'm at rather than somebody else who can just do it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But it's a learning lesson, and I am so grateful for it, because now I'm able to teach other people how to do that. Now I'm able to motivate other people.
Yeah.
Now I'm able to just inspire other women to, or not even women, even men.
Yeah.
Men can not you if you don't have, a social, you better start contracting business or
Yeah.
doing something. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Now it's like that's what I wanna do. I really wanna help immigrants figure out business and like learn business and do everything official and like take that next like leap of faith into like your work life, your entrepreneur
Yeah.
lifestyle. So
I
I
love that.
yes.
Love that.
Yes.
Yeah, because I feel like too, we sometimes can take for granted the smallest things. Like,
Yeah.
everyone has their own set of limitations.
Mhm.
Like, me and my culture and what we have to go through is very different from what you have to, but at the same end of the day, we all have trauma, we all have issues, we
Yeah.
all have problems, and what makes you a winner is how you keep pushing beyond what problems you have to meet, and not necessarily looking at the world like the world is against you. You know,
Yes.
not being a victim of
Yes.
your own story and being a victor. I think that's so important because a lot of people might do that. You know, they stop themselves because they feel like, oh, this is not, everybody got problems.
Everybody.
And once you understand that, it's so much better to say, okay, this is my issue. Let me figure out my issue.
Yes.
And like be tunnel vision. And I love that you
Yes.
did that. So after you figured out, okay, lashes, this is my thing. Let me try to get into it. Let me learn. I love that you went and got your actual license. I think that's
Yes.
so important because a lot of things that in the beauty industry you don't have to be licensed for, but it's so important that you go through that process and take classes even and to really educate yourself, because it's gonna really, it's gonna set your brand apart from all the other Joes. We're in a very saturated industry,
Yes.
very
Yes.
saturated. So it's like, why would I choose you? And the smallest things can help you. How you invest yourself, other people really can see that. And even me, like I didn't know you from, you know, anybody else, but I saw something in you and I knew that you took it very seriously. So I'm glad that you do that. How was your experience in, you know, going to school and actually getting started with business?
So funny thing that you say about investing into education. I want that. I am such a big believer in education. That is something like you should never stop learning, no matter how perfect you are at it. Like there's somebody else who's way better. You know what I mean? Always. So I actually went to school when I was 18 to be a nail tech.
Okay.
So I got my nail license.
Okay.
And then I was like, nails are not really for me.
Yeah.
So let me dip into lashes. Got my lash license.
Okay.
That was great. That went off. And then my lash instructor was like, you should come back and do your esthetician license. So you can like just do anything, you know? And I was like, you're right. So I went back and I did my esthetician. And actually I've met so many great women from every single class that I took, and I actually have gained amazing friends from them.
I love that.
Like, and I just wouldn't change my journey from like doing all these different licenses. I've learned so much. My instructors were so great.
Yeah.
I learned business through them because I had to do like business structures and like
so good.
Yeah, like 3 times. So you know what I mean? So like I got to like really learn like how to do branding, like what's the purpose of my business. Like I went through all of that in school 3 different times. So like every time I just like figured it out better and better. And I feel like my school process was one of the best. I had such a great experience. I learned so much from it. I've gained so many wonderful friends that still do nails, lashes, facials from it. So that was amazing. And also, to this day, I still take my own personal courses just because I love, like, this is a great example when it comes to courses. So I go and am a student at a lash course, not necessarily for the lash styling process of it, but more to see how they teach. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so because
so important.
Yes, because I want to teach, I want to go and take somebody else's classes to see how they teach and like what they offer in their teachings. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
you're shadowing them.
Yes, and I feel like a lot of people get lost in that because it's like you think you're better or like you think you don't need a lash course, but trust me, you can learn from a lash course in different areas or in different subjects that you didn't even realize that you needed.
I love
So I have learned even like from other beauty providers are like nails, facials, brows. Like, yeah, they do something different, but business is business. Like, you can learn from them as well. So I feel like always having an open mind and always wanting to expand your learning and expand your skills is so important. It's like an essential part of being a great person and like for you to grow, because your clients see that you want to grow. Like they see that you're doing all of these things for your business, and that is just one of the best things that you can do for yourself.
Yes, it's so good. Especially like if you're showcasing your journey, which you do, and that's another thing I love. But when you do go up on your prices, because that's always like you're gonna have to grow
Yeah.
in your business, and you do go up in your prices. Your clients are gonna go want to know like why, and when you do put that, you invest in yourself and invest back into your business, your clients feel that much more comfortable to say, oh, this is why,
Yes.
that I'm, and gladly will pay.
Yes,
And if
exactly.
you lose some, that's also good for you, because, that's that departing from your clients and downsizing is actually, to me, a goal.
Me too.
Because it's,
Yeah.
less work on your body.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I love that.
Yes, and actually, you have such a great point there, because a lot of people want to be booked and busy, which
Yeah.
is great. Don't get me wrong, but when you have been doing this for over 2-3 years, that is no longer the goal.
Yeah.
You want to master your mind rather than master your hand skills. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of people kind of stop themselves, are like, oh, I'm already booked, so I'm gonna close my books, no accepting new clients, and I feel like that's
Yeah.
one of the biggest mistakes
Yeah.
beauty industry people make sometimes, which is all respect to them. But I feel like if you are so good at what you do that you're so booked, girl, you need to increase your prices.
That is that is a
you
money
have to.
advice.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's time. Because
Yeah.
I do have a lot of people that ask, like, I don't really know when it's time to increase, but I know that I need to go up. I know that, I am always tired. Those are questions that are legitimate answer for you to go up, because that's
Yes.
how you wean out, your clientele a little bit more, and make it more of a personal experience,
Yes.
because you want to give your clients the best experience that you have. And if you're tired all the time and you don't have a fulfilling life, you cannot service your clients as your
Right.
best self. And it's about that for sure.
Definitely, especially when you have like 4 clients in one day and you're down to your 4th client and you're dead.
Yeah.
You're not giving your 4th client your all.
Yeah.
I also feel like when it comes to like you say, you're booked, you're doing all of this, like I'm been a big believer in myself always, and I listen to myself like before I listen
Love
to
that.
anybody else. So I am very like, oh, I'm booked for 2 weeks in a row, I'm raising my prices. Like,
period.
I don't care. I am not waiting. I'm not wasting no time. Okay.
She not wasting no time. She's like,
no time. Actually, no, because that's insane. Like, I'm just not in the position to overwork myself anymore.
Yes,
I'm not.
I love that.
And I actually cut down from working 6 days a week to working 3 days a week.
Congrats.
Yeah, so that's
why
my,
she's here with me.
Yes, that was my New Year's resolution. So I was like, you know what? Let me cut down on my work time, because I don't want to be at work. That's not what I want to do. And now I'm focusing more on my online digital things, and that is working very well. But that comes with cutting down, like where you are gonna succeed in what you focus most your time in and where you invest your time at. So I decided to cut back on actually doing lashes and invest into like teaching and like doing more online work that will benefit and reach so many more people than just working on one-on-one client every single day for hours and hours a day.
Love that.
Yeah, and actually the clients that I do have now that I work with from like Thursday to Saturday, they are the greatest ever. I've had them for over like 2 years.
Wow.
So they're very loyal, and they followed me everywhere. So I am also I like change. I'm not scared to change anything.
That's good.
So I actually always move, like every year. I'm like moving, doing this, doing bigger. I'm like doing bigger, doing better. I don't care.
Do
like,
it up.
Yeah, it's like whoever wants to follow me, let's go. Who doesn't, it's fine. Like I am like a big risk taker. I mean, because it also comes with how I grew up and like my background.
Yeah, and you're young.
So I'm just like, I'm gonna risk it all.
It now,
like worst case scenario, I go back to my parents' house.
Period. Love that you have that option.
Maybe sleep in my car before I go to my parents' car.
But the fact that you're willing and that doesn't scare you is like money, because in entrepreneurship, even if you're up today, you might be down
Down tomorrow,
tomorrow. And
yes.
the fact that you're okay with it, embrace that. What's your sign, by the way?
I'm a Taurus.
Okay.
Yeah, what are you?
A Sagittarius.
Really?
Yeah, I'm changing my goals every month.
And then that's amazing. Like, that's really what makes you grow so much. Like, it is the best thing ever. I'm so okay with change.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of it.
Yeah, you have to be okay with change because once you get comfortable in your setting, and there's nothing wrong, of course, like you want to create some type of routine in your business so you can slow down. Like the goal is to come from behind the chair as a service provider. You don't want to be hands-on as much throughout your entire life. So I love that you said, okay, I have a steady clientele, more than steady clientele. I have my loyals now. Now it's time to create a digital product. And those are like steps that you need to take to create multiple streams of income. So as an entrepreneur, you don't work for anybody. So you have to think, how can I make money? What if something happens to me?
Right.
To where I can't use my hands. Yeah. Now what? What am I going to do? So you created digital courses. Okay.
Yeah. So actually what really, really like pushed me to focus on my online was that my hands were cramping up. You know, I would work. Yes. Yeah. I would like work all day, every day. I was like, oh yes, I'm booked and busy. Loved it. Yeah, but girl, these hands were like not working with me. My eyesight started to slowly get worse and worse because I was like just focused so much. So that physical weight that my work was giving me was scaring me because I'm 22 years old. I'm too young to be going through cramps in my hands and like blurry vision. Like I'm too young for that. So that's really
it was a red flag.
Yes. Yeah. So that's really where I was like, okay, no, I can't do this forever. I need to back away and I'm very big on pressure. I work really good under pressure. Like, if I know I need to get it together, girl, I'm going to get it together. You know? But if I'm comfortable, I'm going to be like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Also, I feel like I hate being comfortable because comfortable is boring. So as soon as I get comfortable, I get bored and I'm ready to do something different.
Okay. So, that's not like Rihanna. As soon as I do something, I'm bored of it.
It's just it's time for something else. Yes, like, and it's worked for me, honestly. Like, it has really worked for me, and that's why I keep doing it until one day it hits me in the face. Hey, I guess I'll learn from it. But as of now, being and like moving the way I move and being so quick and being so trusting in myself, that has gotten me so far, honestly.
I love that. You're so self-aware. I love that. In entrepreneurship, you have to, because you're going to meet imposter syndrome so many times. But when you trust in yourself, trust in your business, trust in your vision, then you already know, like, this is my plan and this is how it's going to go. And I love that you also stay in tune with your body. Something similar happened to me. I was a hairstylist, so I was doing hair maybe 4 years. So straight out of high school is when I got my license while I was in high school. And so I started working in the salon before I even graduated. Wow. So I was doing hair and I loved it. I was go. Color and cut was my favorite thing to do. But I learned, like, my hands would, like, have muscle spasms and, like, my thumb was moving. I was like, what is going on? I'm not moving my thumb. So I kind of knew. I was like, I don't want this to be my life. Yeah. What else are we going to do? And so I love that you kind of, like, picked up on that. And just the fact that you have invested so much time and money into your craft that you're able to teach other people and you're through your trial and error too. So why not, Exactly. And the fact that a lot of people do online courses, don't get me wrong, this is not like anything that is new. But what I love about Z is that her brand is so clean, and it's like when you see her brand, you know it's her. Yeah. And I think that's so important. A lot of women in beauty, they're skilled, but the business part of it is chaotic. There's glitter everywhere. There's colors changing every week because they like a certain color. You have to stay consistent in your business, and you took the time to really brand yourself. So tell us, like, how did you get into branding, and how did you even choose like your aesthetic and your fonts and all of that, because that's not even in the
Right.
beauty or physical therapy or restaurant business.
Right.
Yeah.
So Zvine Beauty comes from the word divine. So Zvine
Oh.
is divine, but I was like, it has to
Oh.
be me. So I took out the DI and placed Z on it, and then that's
Cute.
how we came up with Zvine. And then and I wanted to be something where I could do anything beauty. I didn't want to just be like Zvine lashes. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be like, if one day I wanted to do makeup, I want to use the
Right.
same name.
An umbrella.
Right. So that was like beauty. Beauty is everything. So
Yeah.
Zvine Beauty. So Zvine Beauty was perfect. That was just worked
So
perfect
cute.
for me. And then so my colors are white and gold. Those are like my brand colors. When I was, growing up Mexican, like you are a baby with like a gold chain and gold necklace. You know what I'm saying? Like you're born and you already have that on you. So
I mean, kind of in my culture too, in the Black community, I remember the rope chains. My
yeah.
mom always got us rope chains. She loved gold on me. The nugget earrings. I don't know,
Yeah.
millennials. I don't know if you remember those, but
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah.
okay. My ears were pierced.
Yeah, before you could even talk. It was crazy back in the
Yeah,
day. So yeah, so gold has just always been an
I
attraction
love
of
that.
mine. So I was like, I mean, gold is a perfect color, like as an accent color, and then white is just, I mean, white is perfect. It's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
clean,
yeah.
neat. You can use it with anything. So I was like, okay, perfect, white and gold.
Yes,
Keep
I
it
loved
simple,
it.
keep it clean, don't do
Yeah.
anything crazy with it. My logo, Zvine Beauty, is actually a Z, and then the B is like right behind the Z.
Mhm.
So it's like ZB together, but you're not able to see it until like you really look into it.
Yeah.
So it's I put a lot of thoughts, a lot of
Mhm.
effort, a lot of like, me. I wanted to be me without it saying my name, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's still Z with the Z Vine Beauty, and I'm the Z and the Z
Love
Vine. So
that.
it's just, yeah, it was very natural. It's just who I am, and also I wear a lot of like white, black, and gold. Or in my apartment's all white and gold, and white
White,
and
black, and gold
yeah. So
today.
yes, I just can't stay away from it. I love those colors, and it's like a natural, neutral color. You can wear it with anything. You can use it with
Yeah,
anything and everything. So.
I love that.
Mhm.
And the difference though, because I know a lot of girlies like gold. I do too. But it's not flashy. Like your brand is
Yeah.
not flashy. You use a lot of neutrals.
Yes.
Can you hear that on camera? That is so loud. That is so rude. We
Like,
have a whole excavator like dump truck by our studios.
do they not know
Crazy
people are
times.
working in here?
It's like we are doing something big
Right,
right
we're like,
now.
what are they doing back there?
Yeah,
Like,
Jesus.
please.
But cleanliness is so important that it's not flashy. You want your work to exceed your image and your branding,
Mhm.
and I think you do that so well. And another key factor that you did was put you into your
Mhm.
business. A lot of people like to go with what is trending or
Mhm.
what they think their customers like or would be attracted to, but the authenticity is what attracts your clientele, who you're supposed to
Right.
sell. And the way you do that in your business is by putting a little bit of self into your
Yeah.
business. And so you did personal branding and you did
Mhm.
it so beautifully. You included your culture, you included, the cleanliness
Mhm.
of it and how you wanted it to flow and how you wanted it to be timeless.
Mhm.
And I love that.
Thank you. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
I
it.
love it.
Actually, it's one of the most important things because nowadays people are looking for something new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's always good to look apart. You don't want to have pink everything. Everybody has pink
Yeah.
everything. Change it up a little. Like, do something to where you're welcoming everybody, not just girls who love pink. But then again, that could be who you want to attract. So, you know what I mean? Whatever fits you best. But I always recommend doing something that accepts everybody, where anybody
Yeah.
can feel welcomed, anybody can walk into your space and be like, oh, this is very
Yeah.
nice. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I mean, we're both girls, and I don't know about you, but personally, like, I'm not crazy for pink.
Yeah.
Especially as you
You
get
can see
older.
my studio.
Like, as you
Yeah.
get older, you're not like,
Yeah.
pink. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I think it's so important to like also think long term. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like in 10 years from now, you're gonna want to have a pink room when you're 30 years old.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Well, not for me. I'm already there. But I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying, but don't worry. Like, I don't want you guys to think too hard about it
Yeah.
because you're going to change throughout your life. Your taste is going to change. You know, you might rebrand, and that's the beauty of business. Once you gain new clientele and you raise your prices and you want to give a whole new experience because you're a whole new version, you can change that. You know, you can change your colors, and that's
Yes.
just rebranding. And that's the cool thing about brand and the image of it, but make sure that you do put thought into it, and it's not just I saw Rihanna do this, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna No,
Right.
you need to really think about what you have to offer
Yes.
and what you want your clients to experience. So I love that you did that. What was the process of that? Like, did you do mood boards? Did you do Pinterest? Like, what can someone do that may not be a visionary, that may have need a little help? What advice could you give them?
I'm a big, big, big believer in business plans. I write a new business plan every like 6 months, or honestly every like 3 months. Just whenever I feel like in a different level, I write a business plan always.
Okay.
I always set out my goals. I really, really live by this. I live by the fact that if you have a goal or a mission or a thought in your head and you want it to come to life, you have to write it down. Like, you have to write it down. You have to look at it. And it is, when you write it down and you look at it, it's like it's already done. That's how I see it.
Love that.
You know, like, I wrote it down, I printed it out, it's in front of my face, so now I have to do it. Like,
If you're using ink, oh yeah,
yeah, exactly.
you're printing out ink. It's definitely have to happen.
It's happening,
Yeah.
yes. And also, just because in the Bible it says, if you have a plan, write it down, and although it may perish, take your time, it's gonna come. So always, like,
that.
yeah, you have to write it down. It says in the Bible, so I'm just following
Oh, I
God's
love
word.
that. I didn't even know that. I love that. That's you guys getting all the good nuggets, especially me. I'm just like, what verse is that? I'll be looking that up when we finish.
Yes, it is. Like, I honestly, vision boards, business plans are what really, really helps me. So what I do, write my business plan on Canva, print it out, and in my apartment I have a empty wall, so I clipped all my papers onto my wall, and every time in the mornings I look at it, and even though, like, I don't sit there and read it, I see it, and I know what I wrote on those sheets. So now I'm like going through my day just knowing, like, I'm looking at this every day, and then people come over and they see it, so that makes me hold myself even more accountable, because now other people are seeing what I want to do, so it's like, now I have to do it. So it's a very much of a, you have to let yourself know that's what you want, and you have to let other people know what you want, so that you can hold yourself accountable. Because if you just keep it to yourself and it's just in your head, nobody's going to know about it. You're not going to really know about it. You're going to forget about it. And then you're just going to go with your life.
It's going to be out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. So
you always want to keep it in sight.
Always. So write your business plan, put it out. And also, I do a vision board every year. Every vision board that I've done, thank God, has become my reality. In one way or another, I see what I put in my vision board in life. So I really, really do swear by my vision boards and my business plans. That's like what keeps me going, and I believe it works. And I think if you're a business owner, you have to make a business plan. Like, it needs to be done for sure.
Love that. Love that. So tell me the styles and the aesthetic of lash. Do you do all type? Do you accept all styles? Like the huge lashes, the very small lashes, or do you have a certain like aesthetic that you, or a signature even, that you go by?
So I do anything and everything. I love trying new things. So even if I've never done it, I'm like, I'm down to do it because I know I can do it.
Yeah.
You know, I've been doing it for this way too long for me not to know how to do any type of lashes. Like, that's just my mentality. So I try everything and anything. I am so down for whatever. But my personal favorite right now that I'm like love to do and I always like am now recommending to my clients is going for more of a like a natural. Yes, natural, classic, more like textured, pretty, nothing too crazy on your eyes. So that's kind of been my vibe lately.
Yes.
You know, like I feel like not that natural beauty in your eyes popping out a little bit more is way more than having crazy things on your eyes. So I am kind of switching over to more natural vibes, more
Yeah.
like pretty, to where like even if you're not wearing makeup, like you look so good and you just you know what I mean? You're feeling
Yes.
yourself. So I'm leaning more towards like that natural, that textured, more into making the eyes pop more rather than like hiding the eyes.
Yeah.
So I am transitioning into that, and my clients love it because now I've taken girls who used to do volume lashes and I'm like, okay girl, let's try something new.
Yeah.
Like your eyes are too pretty, so I really want to try this. I think you'll like it. And yeah, they're hooked. You know, they're like, oh my gosh, this is nice. And it's like it's amazing to see even my clients just trust me enough to like change things up a little and they're just like, okay, like I'm down, I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think as like you said, just like when it comes to rebranding, you're also gonna change what you like in your job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're gonna go from like, oh, I love volumes to I don't want to do that no more. I want to do more, you know, natural to or from doing lash extensions to doing lash lifts. You know what I mean? Like you can just change. Yeah. You can change like what you like and your preference of skills as you go as well. It's just part of life. It's part of like your journey and time. You know, you don't want to do the same thing for months and months and months, so you're gonna get bored. So well, personally.
Yeah. I love that. I love the natural look. I think that with beauty, a lot of people may hide behind their lashes or hide behind their brows or hide behind their makeup. But it's a beautiful thing, especially as a service provider, to get your client to see themselves a little more enhanced but not fully changed. You know, and I love that in your 3 years and in your journey, like that's your goal is to, you know, enhance their beauty and not just you know, be a service provider because I just noticed with trends and just like hearing like different people complain, like even like on the shade room or something about how, you know, stylists and, you know, lash techs may not care. They're just doing what you want and not actually taking care of your needs or, you know, your client's health or even like to really want to enhance them as a person. And I think that's so important and it kind of sets you out from getting that good loyal clientele and also just living in your purpose because I always go back to being a purpose-filled person even though it might just be a trade. You know, there's always something to give someone when you're doing a service. It doesn't matter if you're like my guy Olu in the back, or even a graphic designer, whatever you do in life is helping someone, but I believe that there's a purpose behind it. So the fact that you care even enough, because a lot of people just, they do it for a living. It's just like, what is it that you want?
They do it for money. They do
it for money.
The
like,
wrong things.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to somehow try to find, you know, a purpose in what you're doing because life is going to be that much harder when you don't really do what you love and you're just doing it for money. Money is going to follow you.
Yeah.
How it doesn't matter. Money is literally going to follow you. But when you do it because you have a passion and you care, it's going to be an abundance. That's when you invite abundance into your life, and that's how you grow. A lot of people that are good and actually doing well for themselves stay stagnant and they don't increase their income. And that's because they have, you know, I feel like maybe they have stopped that door of abundance to come in because there's a disconnect in the servitude. It's just doing it because, you know, I'm skilled and what is it that you want? What you getting? You know,
Right.
you don't want to do that.
And actually, you have a great point with that. And that comes with a lot of women wanting to choose a cheaper service rather than a
Yes.
quality service, and then they
Mm.
complain, oh, my hair didn't come out, so I'm not doing my hair. Oh, my lashes did this, so I'm not getting lashes no more. Like, you blame
Yeah.
the one service that you got because you wanted to spend less, then you get a bad experience, and then you're blaming the entire
On the
industry
service
because of one
provider.
person,
Yeah.
and then like there goes the person that's traumatized, you know what I'm saying? But like, and it's all because you wanted it to spend $80 on lashes rather than spending 100 and something on lashes, you know
Yep.
what I mean? Like, trust me, that difference makes the biggest difference, like,
Yeah.
on quality. Like, quality is always gonna come at a price, and especially when it comes to like beauty services, especially when it comes to your eyes, tattooing eyebrows or hair,
Yeah.
you can't just take it off or fix it or whatever. Like, that is
Yeah.
very personal, and it's very detailed. So I feel like if you are ever gonna get a service, do it for the quality. Don't
Mm.
do it for just to get a
To
good
get it
price.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that is one of like the biggest mistakes people can do, is like you're gonna mess yourself up trying to save a couple dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I always recommend people, even with like courses, people want to take like a $500 course. They're like,
Mm.
oh, it's $500. Like,
That's
and then you
so
go and
true.
you get the worst quality course ever,
And then you wasted money
and then
anyway.
you wasted money because now you have to spend more money on another good course, and then boom, you know what I'm saying?
You're
So
so right.
yeah, so, and it's especially comes from like the courses for where it's like a group course and
Yeah.
you pay like a little bit amount of money, but you get little attention. It's not that one-on-one, that
Yeah.
detail, okay, we're doing this. So I feel like even when it comes to education, don't cheat yourself out of a good education. Like, always invest very, very carefully. Don't just invest because it's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Cheap things don't work out, and I feel like that is something that people really, really
It's
need
so
to,
true.
yeah, especially
Yeah.
in the beauty industry. There's so many people offering all types of different things at all types of different prices, and
It shows.
it
You pay for
shows.
what you get.
Yeah, I
That's
really,
for sure.
yes, for sure, for sure. So I just, when it comes to education, don't cheat yourself out of that.
Yeah.
That's very important. So,
I agree. I agree. I did a couple of makeup classes and I have my license. I didn't need it. But I knew if I wanted to be an expert in this new field in beauty
mhm,
that I would have to take it. And so I took, I remember the first makeup class I took was Color Jador. She's in Houston. She's a celebrity makeup artist. And I think her class was, I don't know, like $1,000 or just shy of $1,000. And at that time, which was like, this was before the pandemic, so at least 5 years ago, makeup classes were maybe $100,
mhm,
and I chose to pay almost
mhm,
$1,000. But the detail that this lady did, it was 2 days,
mhm.
and she taught us business. Her husband came in and taught us how to photograph, and then we learned color and shapes. And I learned so much from that. And it encouraged me to go get further education and
Mhm.
get my image consultant license.
Mhm.
And through image consulting, now I'm able to do what I'm doing now because I understand so many
Yeah.
different parts into it. So yeah, don't cheat yourself
Yeah.
into taking a course just to say you've done something,
Right.
because the work is gonna show.
It's gonna show, and especially if you're a beginner. If you're a
Mhm.
beginner, you definitely need to invest really good into what you're learning. Like, if you're experienced, okay, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Just a little refresher, and then you can pick and choose what
Correct.
you want to learn from it.
Yeah.
But as a beginner, and you definitely need to invest, because
Definitely
I'm
do.
sure, like, if you would have already knew makeup, you know what I mean? You would have been like, okay, $100, I'm investing $100. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But
No,
like,
not me.
I said,
I'm
you're
a
like,
perfectionist.
yeah,
Like,
me too.
I'm like,
Trust
I
me.
gotta be the best.
Yes,
I don't
me
know about
too.
y'all,
I have
but
to
I'm
learn
not
from
mediocre.
good. Yeah. Yes, me too. I
Yes.
agree. And that's really, why you are the way you are today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you valued yourself as such a greater prize that you're like, you know what? I want to be better. So I
Yeah.
want to invest into somebody that I want to become one day. You
Yes,
know what I'm
exact.
saying?
And that's
Like,
another good point. I love investing my money into seeds. Like, I feel like it's sowing a seed. And sometimes people might think, like, oh my God, I don't even have it. But when you trust yourself and you trust God and you say, I'm going to invest into something, it comes back
it
to you
does.
10 times.
It does.
10 times. So it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, I know I want to meet, I don't know, Beyonce. You need to be investing in,
Yes.
what are you doing? Going to the concert. You know, it's just like
Yes.
investing into certain things that
Yes.
is gonna kind of manifest into whatever that you want. So
I
I agree with
agree.
that for sure.
And also, when it comes to networking events,
Hello.
I actually paid $200 to go to a networking event in Dallas. I
Yeah.
drove my little butt, okay, to Dallas because nothing's gonna stop me from getting to the top, you know? So I'm like driving my little butt to Dallas, bought my little $200 ticket, pay for my hotel and like all the little expenses while you're, not in
Yeah.
your hometown. It was only a one night, like 4 hour event. And I gained so much from it. Met so many great people, so many lash entrepreneurs, people even from Houston that traveled over there. And like those are the people that I want to be around. I want to be around people that are willing to drive for hours for an event. You know what I mean? Like
Just
that's
like me, like just like
yeah.
you.
Like
Yeah.
though, like when you go that much out of your way, it really, really pays off and it shows so much. Like don't ever think about money as like don't be stingy with your money. Don't be especially when it comes to yourself and your growth and your business growth. Like don't do that because it's like you're blocking yourself from bigger things, from more money, from bigger clients, from all like of these things that you could come about. So it's just
Yeah.
never ever stop yourself from just investing into great things. Like be
Yeah.
around people who you want to be around, put yourself in places where you want to be and the people that you want to be are
Yeah.
at. So it's just very,
Exactly.
very important to invest into
Yeah.
the right things for
I
sure.
love that. You have to, and as cliche as it sounds, you got to pay to play. And that saying comes from, you have to, like I said, sow that seed, because if you're willing to take money out of your bank account, that means taking from maybe your family, taking from, anything, that means that you are willing to be around other people that are willing to do that, and you want to meet those same people. You don't want to be around people that don't want to elevate, or you don't even want to
Right.
stop yourself from
Yeah.
elevating. So that takes meeting other people, because you can't do it alone, even though you are a solo, sole propriety, and you are a solo business owner. That doesn't mean that you don't want to meet other like-minded people, because word of mouth is still, I feel like,
Best.
the best marketing tool.
It is.
The best. Like, my husband has been in business over 13 years, and he hadn't had a Facebook until he met me. He all strictly word of mouth, and
Yeah.
word of mouth is by you getting out there. You're putting yourself out there. You're meeting random people that probably don't even need your service. But guess what? Now that I've met S.H.E today, I'm going to refer you, even though I don't even wear lashes, I can refer you,
Right.
to all of my clients that I know. And that was just by simply putting yourself out there, because
Yes.
you never know. And clientele are very finicky. They come and go.
Yeah.
You do have your loyal, but anything can happen.
Anything
COVID,
happen.
like anything
Yes.
could happen. So you
Yeah.
always want to kind of be ahead of
Always.
the things that are not, that you cannot see, or that you cannot control.
Right.
So I love that point. Ooh, we're getting some good stuff
Yeah,
today.
we are.
So this was so good. Thank you so much, Z, for coming and explaining and getting into all the things today. And yeah, you have a great day. Until next time on She Said What? We're out.